Hello, Flosstube. Beth Martinez, Phantastitches, coming at you again for update number, oh golly, I forgot now, 8, I think, or 9. Something like that. But forgive me, Flosstube, for I've sinned. It's been 2 weeks since my last update. I try to do these once a week or so, but yeah, it's the last time I posted a video was on the 7th, and it is now the 20th, I believe. Excuse me, just a minute. Anyway, so this is my update. I still haven't FFO'd my pieces. I've just been, I don't know what, lazy, didn't want to do it, so I haven't done it. But I have been stitching and doing some other things, so I wanted to update you on what I've been doing. This is my piano on the cat on the piano piece, and I've done a little bit more, you can tell. Still doesn't look like a cat, still doesn't look like a piano, still doesn't look like a cat on the piano. No. But I've done some more, and there's still I mean, I made another mistake somewhere in here. You can't tell, but it's on there. But you know, I'm able to sort of fudge my way around it because it's you know, because you can't tell what it is. There's just a lot of that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm working on it still. And the other thing I'm working on, excuse me, is is the daily walk in the woods stitch along. And I started in the middle. This tree is done, and I had this little bird and these little birds, and I did these little trees. More about that later. And this little tree and these little flowers are done. And I did this trunk, I think, right here, and this trunk. I haven't done the leaves yet, the green part yet, but I'm going to get to those. I started stitching, I think it was this tree right here, last week. My older sister had decided she had to go to the emergency room, the ER for something, and it wasn't anything major, but she just felt like it, you know, she should go to the ER. And she didn't want to go by herself, so I went with her. And while I was, I was in the room with her, the male nurse had taken her her temperature and all that stuff, and prepared for the doctor to come in. And so when the doctor came in and was talking to her, I was trying not to say anything, and he was trying not to say anything because the doctor was talking to her. But I was, I was stitching away on this project, and so he came over to look at what I was doing, and he gave me a thumbs up. So I don't know if he's a fellow stitcher or if he liked what I was doing or whatever. But so yeah, that was kind of fun. So this is my progress on that. I've done, like I said, this little tree and these flowers. Excuse me, these flowers. And there's some little bit of back stitching on this tree. I don't know if you could tell. And I did these little trees. And I'd finished this tree and these birds up here and this little bird down here. Excuse me, there's a cat about to knock everything down. Okay. But then I did these trunks because they're the same shade of brown as these. This is coming out very dark. I apologize for that, but anyway, so yeah, there's my elephant needle-minder again. Anyway, so some leaves go on both of these trees and some other things, and I think there's little mushrooms around this tree, around here. I haven't gotten to that yet. But anyway, so yeah, I'm still finishing this. I have to get more thread and finish this trunk. But that's done. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about some stash that I was going through my stash for whatever reason. I had a wild hair the other night, and and I have this mystery bag of floss that I kitted up for some project, since forgotten. But there's in this bag, I have several bobbins of different colored floss, but I had also purchased some extra skeins. Like there's two skeins of this color. I don't know what this is, 3012, and two or three skeins of this 823 blue, and I don't know what they're for. If I sat down and looked at my stash a little more, a little harder, I could probably tell what this is for. But it got somehow separated from whatever pattern it was supposed to be for, and no matter how I can't think about. I don't know what it's for. But anyway, so I thought, I should probably just put these bobbins back in my box, and there probably are duplicates. I know there's duplicates of something like this 648 gray thread. I probably have, because I have often bought kits in the past, and they come with like DMC equivalent, like the Piano Cat kit. The one of the grays is 646, and it may not be DMC thread, but it's similar in color, I guess, or to DMC thread. So it excuse me. Oh goodness. So it I have it on that particular kit. I have on paper bobbins, but with the same numbers. So when I finish it, it'll be sort of duplicate colors. But anyway, so those DMCs, I have a whole ton of. I don't know what that bag is for. I don't know what project came from originally, what it was for originally. I have no idea. But so I thought I would stick those back in my my bigger boxes that have DMC stash. Speaking of floss, I'm going to move on to my haul. So this is the number 15 thread, DMC thread, that I bought recently online, and that I talked about in my last video. Stupidly ordered by itself, and I didn't want to order it. I didn't want to pay postage for that one floss skein by itself. And instead of ordering the other skeins of the first 35 that my local Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatever, they don't carry yet, and I don't know if the attic has it or not. But Hobby Lobby is a little more easy to get to, and regular hours and that sort of thing are they're easier for me. But anyway, so I had ordered this chart, this la-di-da chart with these kitties. It's called Kitty Kitty, yeah, and I kind of, I don't know. This chart is done on black, as you can see. And the cats on there, I want to convert them to look like my cats. But they're, but it's on black thread, and one of my cats is black. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might just stitch them the way they're charted. It calls for needlepoint silk, 1 strand over 2, but it also has a DMC equivalent, which is probably what I'll do, because yeah, I may or may not. I don't think I'm gonna order silks, and um, I'm probably not going to do that. So I'll probably just use the DMC equivalent. But after I talked about it last time, how I was stupid and I had not ordered the other threads, so I went ahead and placed an order with 123 Stitch for the rest of the new DMC colors, and they came this past week. I was anxiously waiting for them to come in, and they did. So now I have the new first 15 threads, but I bobbinate my floss. I don't mind saying that, and I don't mind doing it. But I need more bobbins now that I ordered that more floss. Speaking of floss and kits and whatever, DMC equivalents and everything else, I have this kit that I bought a long time ago by Jiffy. It's a Jiffy kit, and I don't know who the designer is. I might have it on the picture of the project, which I didn't pull out. But the reason I pulled it was that once upon a time I had started working on it, and I had it's called Midnight. What is it called? Midnight Meow or something like that. Where is it? It's on here somewhere. Midnight Meow, yeah. And it's I'm just gonna flash this real quick. Bunch of little cats sitting on a fence meowing, and there's a moon and whatever. And so it's done on black Aida cloth. This came in the kit, and it came with threads. But the so the threads were in my one of my project boxes, I guess, once upon a time, and I had just left them in there. And at one point, I was going through my stash, and I think I threw that thread away. I took them off the bobbins and threw it away. And so, because I was like, what are these threads for? I don't know, some project I probably already did, and I got rid of them, I think. And so, I don't think I have them anymore. And I came across it when I was going through my stash, when I started cross-stitching again. And I came across this kit, and it has these like colors, but there's some code numbers over here, but no DMC numbers. So I could probably find these colors, some DMC equivalent or whatever to match this, but I don't have the numbers for these threads, so I'm gonna have to get I guess like the DMC chart or something that has not only the numbers but the color names or something, and see if I can sort of figure out, because it's a cute little chart and I'd like to finish it someday. And I actually started it. I did one of the cats in the middle. I started in the middle, and I did this little kitty right here. I just want to show it real quick. This little kitty. It's that one is kind of almost finished, but now I no longer have the threads, so I'm gonna have to do a hunt and finish doing that. One of the other things I also did while I was not floss tubing was worked on my on the sampler that I was talking about. That I don't know if you call it a sampler exactly, but I charting up the hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," and I'm going to show a little bit of a chart, because good for you if you could copy it, but I don't think you'd want to anyways. It's just, but this is what I've done so far. It's the words of the hymn, but I might change my mind about the border sort of idea. It's supposed to be blue like water, come thou fount of every blessing. And so I had done an idea for the top of the design, but I don't know if it's gonna be equal on both sides. It should be, but it isn't, because I think the pattern that the way I had it doesn't come out even, and so it comes out fine on one side and off one on the other side. So I might change that up, and I don't want to be too literal about the words in the hymn, but I'm putting some sheep and stuff like that on there, and so I've been working on it. So I just wanted to show that because I am working on it. I keep talking about it and not doing it, but now I've been working on it. And just one other quick thing I want to talk about. I invited my younger sister to be on this video. I know she watches them, because she called me out on in my first video that I did. I think my first one, maybe, I don't know. I talked about how my older sister had turned me on to cross stitching, and she and my younger sister had started 30 years ago. Has started cross stitching and eventually taught me. And then, but I had said something about how neither of them had ever finished anything. Well, my little sister pointed out to me that yes, she had indeed finished something, and she had done, I guess, some smaller project or something when she first started, but she had not finished anything, any of her bigger projects. But so yes, she has finished something. But I invited her to be on this to do a video with me, and she declined, and that's fine. But one of the reasons I wanted her to be on here was I wanted her to talk a little bit about the quilting that she does. She does a lot of sewing. My niece is a violinist and has done recitals and auditions and various things, programs, whatever. She's done lots of performances over the years. She'll be I think 17 or 16 or something like that. This spring, and is going off to college in the fall. She's going to graduate a year early. She does online school or whatever. But anyway, so she did a round of auditions just a couple of weeks ago, and she got accepted at one of the schools that she auditioned at, and she's waiting to hear from the others. But anyway, so my sister has done a lot of sewing. Some of the dresses that my niece has performed or my sister has made for her, and they're beautiful. But she also, my little sister, also knows how to crochet. She crocheted a few things. I think she did some lace tatting at one point, and she knows how to knit. And she knows how to quilt, and the quilting is kind of her new thing she's enthusiastic about. And so, as I mentioned a couple of times before, in 2016 I had brain surgery and had a bit of a stroke while I was undergoing that surgery. And so I was in the hospital for several weeks, and in rehab for about 10 days or so. And then I spent about a month at my younger sister's house while her daughter was away at Tanglewood. I spent about a week there recovering and waiting. My older sister and I were looking for a place that we could be together. That's this house here. Anyway, but while I was in the hospital, my sister made a quilt for me, partly I think because sort of to quell her nerves at me being, undergoing brain surgery and all that kind of stuff. But but it worked out really. She also made it for me because, like, in the hospital, I was always cold, no matter how many warm blankets or whatever they brought me there at the hospital. I was always cold, and so I would get hot at night, but during the day when I was trying to sit up and things like that, especially in rehab, I don't remember so much about the hospital, being in the hospital, being cold in the hospital. I don't remember, but my sister was working on this quilt. I didn't know she was working on the quilt for me until she gave it to me. She brought it to me. But I call it my ice cream quilt. It's blues and purples, and there's some reds and some other colors in there. But she made it for me. She does machine quilting. And normally when she makes a quilt and she puts batting or whatever inside it, she normally buys like just a flat sheet to finish the back of it, and then she quilted or whatever. But mine, because she wanted to make it a little bit warmer, she put this velour blanket on the other side of the back, and but because of that, she could not put it to the machine, because the machine would she would get tufts of the fabric through there. So she hand tied it. Let me see if I can find some little hand ties. So she hand tied. There are little strings here where she hand tied it. But so yeah. And one of the other things that she does in all of her quilts is, if I can find the right corner, she puts a little tag in there with the number of the quilt that she made, because she's made several of them now, but who they're made for and whatever. And so mine says, if I can get it up here, it says perseverance, hope, strength, and I can't read the other one, faith. June 2016, for my sister Beth, Jeremiah 29:11, made by Naomi Goldstick. So someday when this quilt, our descendants or whatever will know when it was made and how. For the those who don't know, the Jeremiah 29:11, if I can paraphrase it, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you." I can't remember now. I know the plans I have for you. Plans to do good and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. Something like that. I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it badly. But anyway, but that's the idea behind the reference, and it's something that is meaningful to our family, because of my nephew. He had brain surgery, and he was not quite 2, and it kind of his experiences kind of gave me the strength not to be afraid of that surgery, because he had much more difficult surgery than I did, and he was able to get through it, and that's kind of how my little sister, I think it made her stronger, that she had gone through that, and and it helped me to go through what I had to go through when I had my brain surgery a couple of years ago. But anyway, so I wanted to show off that quilt, since quilting seems to be a thing that everybody's talking about lately. I thought, I've got a nice quilt to show off. And so one of the things I want to talk about that people talk about, I don't want it to glom onto Kitten Stitcher's idea of what I'm all into so much, but I had mentioned a couple of things, the Talenti gelato and stuff like that. But the other thing is these big paper clips. This is a giant paper clip. It's about 3 inches long. I have a bunch of these. I used to teach children's choir. And the kids love these. I used them to hold these flip charts that I used for the kids. I taught first, second, and third graders, and yeah, I use these to hold the flip charts a lot of times because they're big. But I use them now to hold. I use it on my daily walk in the woods to hold the pages together, because I bought it online, and so I printed off the pages. But so I wanted to mention my giant paper clips. They come in very handy. I don't remember where I bought them. Probably, I don't know, Office Depot or something like that, probably, if you're looking for them. But they come in very handy to do this sort of thing. And the other thing I'm all into right now, and it's coming to an end, I guess, next week, The Alienist. It's a TV show on, I don't know, on TNT, I think. I want to say. Anyway, but it's really good. So I've been watching it, The Alienist. It's, I guess, a novel by Caleb Carr. And I thought I had it, but I don't. And so I'm thinking I might have to read that now, But it's been a very good show, and it's a murder mystery, whatever kind of thing. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out. But anyway, so that's my update. Those are the things, and maybe someday soon I'll have some FFOs to share with you. That I'm still plugging away, still doing things. So in the meantime, I hope you're able to, you've come back several times to my channel. I appreciate it. I'm up to 31 subscribers now, which is great. And I've been trying to keep up with, on Flosstube. There's a few that I watch all the time that I can't resist, and a few that catch my interest, and I'll watch at least one or two of their videos. But the ones that I watch all the time that I can't resist are Friday Off the Grid, Caroline's videos. I don't watch the knitting tutorials because I'm just not into knitting. I don't care about it. But I watch her stitch along videos and her Friday Off the Grid videos and her Monday updates and all that. So I love Caroline. She's a great person. And I've watched most of Betty Stitch's videos, not all of them, but most of them. She's a lot of fun. And oh, what's her name in Guam? No, I can't say her channel name now. Oh gosh. I know it because I watch it all the time. Oh God. Homesteading on the Home Front. I watch her videos all the time. I love that her daughter is such a natural in front of the camera, and her daughter isn't the young one isn't shy at all about making videos, and it's just great. And there are many others that I keep thinking, oh, I should watch that. Oh, I should watch that. Oh, I should watch that. And I just, haven't gotten around to doing that. Anyway, so I hope you watch my channel. Hope you subscribe. Hope you come back. Again, my name is Beth Martinez, Elizabeth Martinez, Phantastitches. And in the meantime, until I see you again, have fun, stitch all the things, and have a good week. Thanks.